This channel is not for children, neither is it for the weak of heart or mind. Viewer discretion is advised.
There is so much more to the left-hand path than just Satan or Lucifer. Some mythological characters we're all familiar with can also fill the qualifications of what it is to be a left-hand path deity. To begin with, and as I've stated in more than one video, I don't like to just scratch the surface. I like to dig. I'm a seeker after knowledge, and the more secretive or clandestine that knowledge, the better. I like to hunt, if you will, to uncover mysteries. I want to get at the roots, the foundation, not only from a historical perspective, but also the psychological and mythological. This is one of the reasons why I named the Left Hand Path organization I founded the Sect of the Horned God. The Horned God is ambiguous. Who this Horned God is left open for you to fill in the blanks, for you to put that face on the archetype, that face that best suits you. Now, the modern pagans will insist the Horned God is Kronos, and they know all about him. He's the boy toy of the much superior goddess. Goddess with a capital G. I call bullshit. Even though I've often used the name Kronos when referring to the Celtic horned god, no ancient Celt ever called his god by that name. The word Kronos is Latin for the Horned One. It's what the Romans called this god, for his true name or names are lost to antiquity. But there's another horned god that very much fits within the pantheon of sinisterous divinities that you may not be familiar with, or at least in this guise. His name is Wotan. Now, Odin, Wotan, the Norse All-Father, Master of Runes, we've heard of him before. And in the realm of comparative mythology, he's been linked to many other great Indo-European deities, such as the Slavic horned god Valis, Lu of the Celts, the Roman god Mercury, Hermes of the Greeks, Thoth of the Egyptians, and, as I've presented in a recent video, Rudra of the Hindus and Avatar of Shiva. And in that video I mentioned how he was originally a lesser god from outside Scandinavia that over time eventually became Odin, the Odin we know. But how did he usurp the crown to become chief of the Germanic Norse pantheon, and what are his connections to the left-hand path? Roughly 2,000 years ago, the Germanic tribesmen of northern Europe had a sky god called Tiawas, or Tiavaz, a precursor to the Norse god Tyr. Besides being a sky god, having much in common with Zeus and Jupiter, he was also synonymous with Mars, for the ancient Germans were a warrior culture. Now, on the outskirts of Germanic society was a warrior caste trained to fight from adolescence and nighttime raids. These elite stealth fighters partook in mind-altering occult rituals to appease the dead and to become one with such creatures as wolves and bears. These were the Hari, the ghost warriors, and according to 1st century CE Roman historian Tacitus, and Wotanaz was their god, a barbaric god of the wild hunt, storms, and secret or occult knowledge. And with the encroachment of the Roman Empire, a god had to step up, come to the fore. Now, in Celtic Irish mythology, the king of the gods, Nuada, lost his hand in battle, thus Lu stepped forward. This symbolized that the people had to switch deities or archetypes to one that better suited their needs. According to the prose Edda, a similar thing happened when the great wolf Fenrir bit off Tyr's hand at the wrist. Tyr, or Tiawas, does this voluntarily, some saying this symbolized the Germanic tribesmen's need for more severe measures when dealing with the Romans. Thus, the savage god of the Hari, Wotanaz, replaced Tiawas, for he was a better suited god for their needs. Hence, the origin of Odin as Allfather. But it's more than these dark origins that make Odin a lord of the left-hand path. At the center of the Norse cosmos stands the great tree Yggdrasil, which grows out of the well of Erd, a pool whose depths hold many of the most powerful forces and beings in the cosmos. Among these beings are the Norns, maidens who shape fate by carving runes into the great tree's trunk. These powerful symbols then carry their intentions throughout the tree, affecting everything in the 9 worlds. Odin envied this power and was bent on coming to know the runes. Since the runes do not reveal themselves to any but those who prove themselves worthy of fearful insights and abilities, Odin hung himself from a branch of Yggdrasil, pierced himself with his spear, and peered downward into the shadowy waters below, calling for the runes, forbidding any of the other gods to help him. He lingered in this state for 9 days and nights, and on the end of the 9th night, he at last perceived shapes in the depths, the runes. They had accepted his sacrifice, revealing to him not only their forms, but also the secrets that lie within them. Thus, Odin became more knowledgeable and more powerful, and he did this by self-sacrifice. Some have speculated that he must have sacrificed himself to an unnamed greater god, but those who follow the left-hand path will recognize who that god was. That god was himself. He is his own god. And what better defines the left-hand path? This story of Odin shows us that to reach self-deification, one must sacrifice their time and effort and be willing to stare into the abyss to obtain the secret knowledge, to become the God within.